How you doing?
Oh, good man. Oh, good. How's things for you?
Things are well, man. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and even speak on it. It's still weird to me to say how you're doing after you've already talked to someone.
It is. So, how are you doing again?
Yeah,
It's
it's
natural.
funny. It's because it's just, especially when you're doing your podcast, you're just going like, man, I want this to be as authentic as possible. But then you're like, how do you start? And then it's like, okay, most of the time people say, how you doing? And they've already had a conversation before the mic even went on.
It's the sneakiness. That's all. Unless you get questioned about it, then you're all good.
How's podcasting been going for you? I know you've been stacking your numbers up and interviewing more people. How's that been going for you?
It's been good. Like literally about maybe a week or a week and a half. I was a little bit of a dry spell because work picked up and then I had to move to another location. Still like around like London, but just another part of London. So I was like, oh, that is just tiring. But
Dude,
other than that, all the podcasting now it's going well. I've got some guests lined up. I'm gonna try and do them in bulk and try and get them out every Friday now instead of doing random days.
mm, oh, trying to keep to a schedule and be consistent.
Yeah, yeah, I think that'll work a lot better.
What number are you on now?
I've recorded my 14th the other day, so I want to try and get to at least 20.
Because it's funny, if I'm not mistaken, when I looked online, the statistic for a podcast is determining whether it continues or not. It's between that seventh episode and either that 13th episode. And a lot, they say most podcasts fizzle out between that period. So just keep rocking. Just keep rocking.
Oh,
I know you're going to do it.
Big motivation. I love it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep smashing it. I mean, I like doing it. I mean, I've talked to a lot of interesting people. I mean, I wouldn't have really met you as well if I didn't talk on the podcast.
Then it's great because just meeting people in these podcast communities is always a lot of fun. I've met a lot of people, just people in Virginia, of course, people in California. I'm talking to people on both coasts now, and she was talking to you in London. I've really been trying to get a guest just in probably like Australia. I might start doing that because on online you can basically shoot your question out and see if there's anyone that's interested in that question and just start with one. Hey, I want to talk to someone on this continent and just start doing that.
It's mad that you can actually do that still. It's
it's
crazy.
it is. It's crazy that there's a you could pretty much have any guest you want on any topic just by utilizing those different podcast communities.
It's crazy. Like, imagine trying to explain like podcasting like 50 years ago. They're probably just like, oh, it listens to radio. Well, it sort of is radio in a way.
We have the tech. We didn't have the tech.
Yeah.
Everything is a lot faster and it's just actually it's kind of overwhelming because I know there's so many, but but with today's show, what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to do exactly what you do on your show, but for you.
Oh, okay, okay. You gotta ask me some questions.
Exactly. I just
Oh,
why
you
not
sneaky boy.
why not use the format that you use on you? I mean, I'm pretty sure you wanna feel the therapeutic. I don't know because that's how it felt for me. Well, after doing the show with you the last time and just re-listening to it, it felt very therapeutic. Like I was just like, man, I got to sit down with that counselor finally, and it was just simple questions like I guess here's the start off. What's would be considered as your backstory? Where are you from?
Ooh, oh, actually, before we get into this, sorry, just to let you know, obviously, because I have to going for a set. My pizza was the wrong one, so I've had to go and make it and send it again. So, like, hopefully, in about half an hour, I'll literally just have to answer the door.
Okay, okay.
I just want to let you
Just
know, but carry on, yeah.
it's all good. You know what? Because we like the like what's that? The Raw Life podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll just keep it all in.
I'll be gone for like a minute in a bit just to get my pizza. Don't worry. But what's the question? I'm so sorry, D-SANe8's.
What's your backstory?
Oh, my backstory. Oh man,
What's your origin? Yeah, where are you from?
so I was born in a small town called Tipton. It was pretty fucking rough for me. Maybe other people had a better experience, but my experience was pretty rough. I had a lot of people always against me. I used to have people like throw bricks at my windows, and
Oh
like
damn!
sometimes we'd have like chipboard on the windows to cover it up. I remember the first time I got punched in the face. uh, but
I think we
yeah,
all remember that.
yeah. Like, I remember the dude at first. He was cheeking my dad, and like, sorry, like cheeking is a term for being a dick to someone, like
Mm.
saying shit. And he threw a house brick at me, and it missed me luckily. And I looked down, and next thing I know, there's bosh. I get punched on the nose, and this is like me in like primary school. But yeah, so origins from Tipton, very rough growing up. I finally managed to get out of the place last year, and I have never been more happy in my entire life. Um, that's probably the basis of that. But my goal was always, obviously, always to get into games. Okay,
Hey, are you there?
yeah, I'm here. Could you hear me?
So it's as it dipped off as when you said you got punched on the nose.
Oh, what a perfect time. So yeah, I got punched on the nose. I Last year I managed to actually leave Tipton to move to London for my dream job, which is the fucking best I've ever felt. Um, and I finally managed to escape Tipton, so I only need to ever go back there just to visit my family. I
I
spent
want to ask I asked you I want to ask why was there such conflict to begin with? Do you know?
honestly, to sum it up, I think I was one of those people that looked like you could bully them. And to a point, I was that person where people would come up to me and bully me and pick up me, or just literally just to start, just to try and impress someone. Like if you see someone who's in a group and there's a girl in that group, all the boys will obviously try and impress this one girl,
Mm,
and they'll try and show off by taking the piss out of me, or like by hitting me or whatever they want to do. And it worked until one day where I just snapped. And and then I was just like, fuck, I fucking hate everybody here. I can't stand this place. I never want to be here ever again. And my goal was literally just to leave Tipton. That was one of my
mm,
goals. Obviously, the other one was to get into game design. But luckily, I've done both with a lot of hard work and a lot of time. But I think the conflict, I think it was just people are trying to act hard because the community where it's from, it's like you've got to put on this macho ness of, you always talk slang, or you're always doing this, or if you don't drink you're not cool. And it's just, I
mm,
like a drink, but it's like, fuck, like I don't want to do this. And a lot of people I see as well, it's it's gonna sound really fucking awful, but a lot of people I see, it's like they don't have any aspirations.
mm,
And I didn't want to grow up like that. I just didn't want to grow up saying, "Oh, where's the next money?" I wanted to be, successful and out of Tipton. And all the people that have wronged me, I just think, fuck you.
what's crazy is I can relate to that because it's very interesting how that macho-ness just goes around the world. Everyone just always wants to be macho for some reason. I remember being in Oakcliff and it would be just random moments of like I just have to it used to be just racist. Like you would run in the street and you would compete that way. But then it's also turned into just fighting for a sport, or not even for sport. If you're boxing, yeah. But when you're just out in the middle of doing it in the street just because, I there's a scene in particular because I remember my first what I like to consider the first time really being punched in the face, and the first ever real fight because I was just caught off guard because for me, I grew up kind of gullible because I mean, I really didn't have like hardcore hardships. I had a grandma who lived in there's a part like South Dallas, and when I compared where I stayed to that, I mean, I felt like South Dallas was more the hood than deep in Oak Cliff, but it still was the hood at the end of the day because the scene was, it was me and my one of my good friends. We were walking, and some gentlemen came up and they were getting close. And normally, if a person's getting closer to you, pretty much that's when things, you know, things are. If
Yeah.
someone's entering your little space, that's when you know things are getting ready to go awry. But me
Yeah.
being gullible, I'm just like, oh, hey, what's up? And they started asking, "Hey, what's good, kinfolk?" Like at that time, I think kinfolk was the term when people try to feel related to you, or they'll call you that when they don't know you that or anything.
Oh,
And
okay.
pretty much what happened was we lived in houses, and these kids that were there, they were from some apartments not too far away. And their thought process was, you live in a house, therefore you have more than me, so that means you have something on you that we can jack. And this is me telling the story now, but at that point it was just like, okay, what's going on? And because this is for me, this was the real first fight that was outside of school. Normally when you're in school fighting, you're fighting because, okay, you don't like this person, but you know if you fight it'll probably go away anyway, or you're just fighting for sport because you're just like, I want to fight and show that I can beat this person. And that was also a weirdness. Macho ness was, I remember those days.
It's such a weird thing to do. Like, I never understood it, and it was always in groups. It was the worst. Like, I remember like this fucking kid called Curtis Gill, and I to this day I still hate him. I can't stand him, but I would love to meet him again. Um, but he was one of these where if I didn't save a goal in PE, he'd spit on me. Um, if I was just walking, he'd try and say hello and then try and take the piss, and he'd call me like, you know, like you're a fat shit, or you're ugly, or you smell it, or you know, four eyes and shit like that. And every day he made my life just fucking miserable, and I just could not stand it. Like it got bad where some of the teachers, like there was two really nice teachers to me in that school. The rest was just, I don't think it was any good. But the teachers would sometimes uh, lock me in a store closet there, like a cupboard, which I asked them to do, like for an hour, just so I'd miss out on the lessons where people would bully me. And
Oh
some of the
dang.
teachers had actually did that for me, and they could have gotten so much shit, so I won't mention them. But they really fucking like helped me without them even knowing, and like to take that risk, I was like, oh damn, because it sounds silly, but I know I'd be like safe for that 1 hour. And it was just sort of
Did
a
you
nice feeling.
Did you ever consider just going in and fighting them? Because I remember there was, well, always in the movies what they always portray, and also people in real life. You have a bully. What you do is you stand up to that bully and you fucking basically you beat their ass, or even if they're taller than you or whatever, you confront them. So you let them know that nah, this is not happening. I I had that desire always. I don't know where it came from, but whenever someone would, I didn't care who it was, I would always have to fight back because I wasn't gonna let that happen to me. And at the end of the day, my biggest fear was never any other person. It was having a fight, getting caught fighting, and my mom finding out. I was only terrified of my mom.
Yeah, I bet the mob was scary.
well, well, my bad for going on a tangent,
No,
but
I
yeah,
get you.
did you ever have any like that burning desire to just like, nah, I'm gonna stand up and I'm gonna basically attempt to just beat their ass for it.
Yeah, so there's this one fucking time where I was at Wolverhampton. Actually, no, school related. Yeah, okay. So there's this one kid on the way back from school, like near Asda Park. Or I don't know why I say Asda Park, like you know where it is. But he literally just fucking started on me, and I had enough, and I was walking back with my brother, and this guy just starts throwing snowballs at me. And I talked to my brother. I was like, "Please, just leave it. I just want to go home." Because for me now it was regular. I just literally just want to get home. And my brother was like, "Okay, if this happens again, I'm gonna have him." And looking again, the snowball hits me on the head. So my brother turns round and he pulls out this sock, and it's a sock. I'm like, why is he pulling out a sock? He walks up to it, and there must have been about maybe 10 or 12 of these guys. And because my brother, I just love my brother so much. I really do. He pulls out this sock and it's full of marbles, like marlies,
Oh
and
shit.
he smacks him in the stomach with it.
Oh
And
shit.
he goes down, and I'm there surrounded with him. I'm just kicking this guy's in the leg, right? And my brother's on top, just hitting it, and I was screaming, saying, "Yes, D, kick his fucking head in!" And like my brother lost it more than me, but after that day, I was like, "Fuck's sake, I'm not gonna take any shit." And now it's just like if someone starts on me, I'll always have a go back, especially like when I was more like 18 and 20, I'd bite back instantly. And that's when I got into like more fights or people who try and jump me. But now, if someone says anything, I'd double think because I've seen a lot of people like carry knives and shit like that. Like when I
Yeah.
said we had
Yeah.
we had the knife bin. And now I think I'm a bit more mature. I'm thinking, okay, maybe sometimes it's just let them say something and just walk on and try to forget it, rather than having to go back like that macho thing, like having to go back and standing up for yourself. And someone pulls out a knife and you lose your life over it. So I
Yeah.
think it's finding a balance now of knowing when to bite back.
Dude, that's now so nowadays it's that's exactly my whole take on it too. It's just like you gotta be smart, mainly because you don't know what somebody else knows, you don't know what they're carrying, and you don't if you're in my head, the other thing is like if you're not offing this person to the point where they're handicapped and then someone else doesn't know you did it or whatever, there's always going to be that sense of revenge that you have to worry about, that they're going to come back for your ass, and that's another thing. And it's just I don't want that kind of burden in my mind. Not to mention, especially where I'm at, if you get into a fight with someone, you and the other person, it doesn't even matter if you're in the wrong or the right. Well, it doesn't even matter if you're in the right. They're gonna take you both to jail. And no, I don't want to go to jail. I've never been. I don't want to find out. I don't want to sleep in a cell or any of that crap. So I do my darndest to play it smart, and yeah, less interactions the better.
No, exactly, and that's what I get. Like until a year ago, I still had trouble in that town. Like this has been like last year. Obviously I have my ups and downs, but last year was a really like it was a good year, and I can't wait till actually next year. I'm really looking forward to it. Even though we've got all this COVID stuff going on, I think it's just for me because I've been to London. I've had not one single bit of trouble, not one. But like in Tipton, it's just like they just start, and it's just like this shithole again.
So tell me more about Tipton. Like why on your thoughts or your opinion, why would you think Tipton is a place like that?
I see it because of my personal experiences there, where if I was walking down the street, someone would just say something just to insult me, and I never understood why people was like that in that area. Like you do meet some nice people, like some of my closest friends are from there, and when I finally got friends, I stick with them. But
Hmm.
the problem is a lot of the community there, they don't care about their future. They just literally just want to have drink. They want to just do all this shit. They just say, they have kids just for the fun of it because you can get you can get more money that way. You really can. It's a fucked up system, but you can get more money that way. Um, I just I don't know. That's ever since I think I think it goes back to when I was a kid, like when I was just trying to leave the house. But every time I'd leave the house, I'd get insulted, and I think that's always just made me have that strong opinion on Tipton. And then my dad would always tell me, like, I love my dad to bits, but my dad would always tell me, everyone, all your family generation live in Tipton. No one's left Tipton for like the last 100 years. I'm like, I'm fucking leaving Tipton. I'm fucking doing this, Dad. And it's I think it's just because I've had some positive times, I really have, but I've had too many negative times to just go back there, like to live permanently anyway.
The other question that I would have or draw from that, um, because a lot of times when I do music, there a lot of people would always say, "Why don't you rep your city?" But if you have bad memories of your city, you know, it's Like,
Yeah.
do you want to rep it, or I guess how do you feel about that? If someone asks you on stage to say, "Hey, where you're from," do you feel like you would promote it because of all your negative experiences there?
Oh no, no. If someone says, "Oh, you know, where you from?" Promote it. I'd say I'm from Tipton, and it's a fucking terrible place to live. If people's asking me to be positive, I wouldn't, because there's hardly not a lot of positive things I can say from that. Okay, Tipton's a cheap place to live. Um, that's literally pretty much it. And my family are there. I love my family and friends, but I ain't fucking ever promoting that place. I'm never fucking going back to live there. And I wouldn't do. I'd just refuse. I'd absolutely refuse.
The crazy part from this conversation that I'm also learning is like there's a bad hand or a bad place everywhere, and
Oh
it
yeah.
just yeah, it's like yeah, it just sounds like every place has a place where it's just like eh, it's well yeah, every place has a hood. Every place
Yeah,
has a hood.
it's so true. It's so fucking true. Like the amount of people I've spoke to as well, where it's like we've talked about before. There's good and bad in the world, but everyone does have a hood. They really do.
The worst part is over here. I'm not sure if they do this or if it's similar, but I wouldn't be surprised. Here, what they'll do is they will separate it, and it'll be this weird little thing. Like they might separate a street, like Malcolm X Street. If you go past this one street, I forgot where it's at. If you go past this one street, on the other side of it is the good neighborhood, and on the other side of it is the bad neighborhood, and you can instantly see it for some odd reason. It's like when you cross that street, everything just goes gray. Um, and
Really?
it just feels that way. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
that's just the way that I'm thinking about it, and that's why it
Nah.
does that. But that's what it feels like.
Uh,
I know in Denton, for a more particular spot, there's a railroad track, and over that railroad track, you got so on one side there's all the regular parts of Denton, the schools and the colleges and everything, and it's all nice little happy town. Um, on the other side, you cross that railroad, you're now in the hood, and it's crazy that there are boundary. There are literally markers in the city that you can find in places that's separated. I know when I was in Baltimore, same thing. There's a street. There's a street where there's like the towns, the city was all nice and it just looked cool. But then as soon as you cross it, it just like everything went trashier. You would see those little things where the police could you know how you know a bad area when you have like one of those police light towers or those things where they watch from in an area.
yep. Yep. I get ya, mate.
And
Ah, go on. Carry on.
And
Carry on.
I
I'll
don't know
explain
why that is. Like
it.
it's like they use little landmarkers to say, okay, you're now in the hood.
Yeah. Welcome to the hood. The thing is that I do get, like when I was living there, I just saw grey. Like my view looking outside my bedroom window was literally a brick wall, just like a brick wall factory, just terrible view as well. And it's like, fuck, mate, this place is so dull and grey. But now I've like lived in London. London's got a lot of grey buildings, but to me, it doesn't look grey. I think London looks absolutely beautiful because now I've got this nice view where I can see all of London, massive window, and it's just nice, man. It really is fucking nice.
Ooh, the clock tower.
Yeah.
Have you been?
I haven't. I want to go, but COVID. I
I'm actually
really,
surprised that you haven't been. Like
I
it's been hyped
know.
up so much because well, for me it was hyped up not because of Peter Pan, but because of Kingdom Hearts. In Kingdom Hearts 1, there's you go there and you actually can fly around it as the character, and it's one of the most majestic scenes that I have as like well, I wasn't a kid, I was a senior in high school. It was one of those majestic scenes that I had, and not to mention there was also like this ghoul that you had to fight in front of it. So Clock Tower, I want to visit there because I got this hyped up imagination scene of it, imaginative scene of it.
If you ever come over, I'm sure we can find it together. I mean, I ain't been, but we'll use Google Maps.
I,
We'll figure
I
something
I
out.
look forward to that. I don't know what a trip to London costs, but I'm pretty sure I could save something and get there, so I could check that out.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. Exploring London 101.
Um, Currently, what is your since so have you done much exploring in London at all, or are you
Honestly,
just since you
it's
just got there, you're waiting?
so annoying that I haven't done too much exploring. Because I got here and then 2 or 3 months later, COVID was big, places were shutting down. And I'm like, oh, damn, I really haven't done much exploring.
How are the rules out there? Is it if they see you outside because of the social distancing, they tell you to go home, or yeah, because technically, even though we were enforcing it, you could still kind of get away with going out,
Yeah.
and doing things.
That's why
So
it's
so
like,
how's
yeah,
that
like
there?
with social distancing, there's pretty much distancing now has just gone out the window. Everyone's just bumping into each other. Like London's like it is now, apparently, just normal.
Mm,
Except everyone's wearing masks. On the
yeah.
train, apparently, if you don't wear a mask on any public transport, you get a £6,400 fine.
Woo!
Which I mean, man, if it stops people taking off the masks, I'll take it because I know I ain't taking off mine for 6 grand.
God dang. No.
But
Which is a
well,
little bit insane in some form of fashion, but I get it. I get it.
yeah.
It's a person's life.
Well, this is the thing. Like I saw before they introduced that, I saw people just using the masks. Sorry, using the masks to actually get on public transport and just take them off straight away. And it's just like, oh, you're supposed to keep that on. I think that's why they've enforced it.
Mm.
But but they've opened pubs as well again. But they said they're closing at 10 or 11, which makes no sense because people can still get pissed at that time. And
Right?
they're just and it's just like, okay, I don't really understand, but hey, I'm not the prime minister.
The other weird part about that, like mentioning the pubs, is I think it's the craziest thing. You go into a restaurant, you got to have your mask on, but as soon as you get in the restaurant, you can take your mask off. I went somewhere the other day, and I left my mask. I can't find my damn mask. I gotta find that mask anyway. But so I made a makeshift mask. I had took some napkins. I just stacked a bunch of napkins and I wore it as a mask.
Right.
And the guy's like, "Oh, sir, I don't know if you can come in here. No, that's not a mask." I'm like, "I know, but I'm getting ready to take it off because you know how I mean everyone comes in with the little
Yeah.
mask, goes to their table, and then takes it off, which doesn't make sense." So I'm just like, let me hold these napkins because these napkins actually work, but they're like they're stacked napkins. So I'm pretty sure that and me holding my breath while I go to a table to take off a mask. I don't know, man. It's stupid. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. Some of the rules are a little bit finicky in places, and they don't make much sense.
But I get
But
it. It's like
yeah,
I get what they're trying to go for, but they're not executing it exactly to not they're not executing it right at all.
well, this is the thing. Like, people can't win over here. Like, British people just love drinking, and I do like drinking. It's enjoyable, but I don't want to drink with a bunch of people while I'm in a pandemic. I'm happily going to the shops, whacking on YouTube, and just or Discord and just socially drink over them with online. I mean, socially drink with them online, not over them.
Do you when it comes to your just moving from London, the actually that's not the question I had next. Because if you haven't noticed, I did not write the questions down. I wish I would have did that because that would have helped tremendously. However, the point is, what is your dream job that you got?
I am a junior 3D artist in the video game industry, so I help make video games, and I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the company. I love the people I work for. It's a dream come true.
What brought you
Literally.
into video games? Yeah, what was
Oh,
the first thing that just started your catalyst?
I
Well, yeah, well,
I know the exact part it was. I was a kid, and my mom bought me Road Rash because my brother had a PlayStation 1, and
oh man, I played
mate,
the heck out of Road
oh,
Rash.
right, I love it so much. It's such a good game, and I actually got it 2 years ago again for Christmas from my brother. And I began playing Road Rash, and I was on like this red bike with a black jacket, and I drove next to someone and hit him with a chain, and that
Yep.
guy fell off the bike, and I was
Yep.
like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Oh my god, this happened!" And I remember being so excited as a kid. I mean, I shouldn't have played it for the age, but my mum was cool. And
Dude,
ever
that was
since
the
then,
first.
yeah, right. Ever since then, I was like, "Okay, I want to make video games." And then like I got my Game Boy, and I was just playing Pokemon with like the extra like batteries in my pocket. And it's just, man, ever since then, games are just. I think it's because games have been like such a good getaway as well. When people have always been like horrible to me or nasty. Not to make it sound like a sob story or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's a really nice escape just to go to like another world and like shoot some people in other worlds or explore this new land or do a puzzle game. And it's so interesting, and it feels good to get to another place where you just know, if I'm getting like bullied on this game, I know it's a game. It's all digital. I can just turn it off at a console.
Or you can most definitely beat them in, in the virtual world.
Exactly, and it's such a good escape. But ever since I played Road Rash, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do, and then I've been pursuing it ever since.
Now, when it comes to a 3D, well, being a 3D artist, do you use I guess the question I'm trying to fathom is what so how did you get to the point to knowing that 3D art was what you wanted to do opposed to, say, for
Ah,
instance, doing coding?
yeah. Okay, so I've always thought games look pretty, and it was in maybe 2012 when I started a course in Wolverhampton for computer games design. And I was just
Hmm.
playing around with stuff, we had to make like a small little flash game using code. And we also had to, do lots of art. And I've always liked the art side of it. Like I took art in school as well, but I was always a terrible painter. I just wanted to do digital stuff. And at first I wanted to be a texture artist, which is just literally creating a list full of materials like brick textures or like
Mm.
glass, just a material artist. And then I spoke to one of my good friends who I currently live with now, and he was like, "Oh, you should try some 3D as well." And I was trying more and more 3D, and I was like, "Oh, damn! I'm really liking the 3D side as well." And I just got into it. I really did. I was like, "Oh man, 3D is beautiful." And I started creating these scenes, and my first scenes was absolutely god awful. But I was like, "Oh, they're so cool." And then you know it's all the mistakes, and then you do them again. It's just like, and you're always improving. And there's so many pretty things that people you can do with 3D. It's such a beautiful art form as well. And I think that was it when I was just having that conversation with my friend, just talking about 3D. I was like, "Oh, I wanted a 3D."
That I've tried my hand at 3D a couple. Well, like you said, it's one of those things where if you keep doing it, you get better. As with most things, I think we were having that conversation before about
Yeah.
how you build on your skills.
Skills versus talent.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I
um,
think I found. I thought I found one. I think I'm not 100%. How about when you're younger and you're growing up? How about singing? Is that more of a talent? Because I know you can do like skills to get your singing better, but does it start off as a talent?
well, and I think remember when we kind of came to a conclusion with that was I think what really gets someone going about deciding on if something is a talent or a gift is when, yeah, when they're at an early age and they're doing something that supposedly it took all this time to do, or you're learning something and you're catching on so quickly that you just the first thing you did looks like something someone is that's been doing it for 50 years did it. Maybe I think that's what it is. If you can do something in a short amount of time or an unexpected amount of time, that's when
Yeah,
people start thinking that you are
talented.
talented at it.
Yeah. I like that we jumped back on that because I still like really trying to think. I couldn't think of one.
Well, I'm just really like it's one of those thought processes. Like it's a thought experiment to play. Excuse me. It's a thought experiment to play around with, and that's the only thing I can think of when it comes to is what really makes a talent is a person thinking, is a person perceiving it. They did this in a short amount of time, or with a lack of experience and they're still able to do it. It's not even just beginner's luck. They're just really good at this compared to a person that actually has to pick up the skill and do it. It I think that's would be a really good idea on, hey, this is a talent. I don't really understand the gift part. That one's always weird because
Yeah,
everyone says that.
we
Because
talked
they're
about
always saying
gift.
it come from above. That's what a gift is. And I'm just like, but ain't it
It's
the
like
same thing?
it's like Santa.
Had you ever been in love?
Oh man, you fucker.
Hey man, I told you what I was doing today.
Oh fuck, I didn't expect that one.
Revenge, revenge.
Fair enough, fair enough. Okay,
You made
so
me pour my heart out. It's your turn.
all right, so when I had my first girlfriend, I thought I was in love, but I just wasn't. It was just me being young and silly. The
That's everybody, man.
yeah, yeah. There is a person in my life now that I really do love, like to bits, but I don't think anything will ever happen. I think it's just one of those things where it's just like, just friends, but man, you just you can't help it. You know the way you feel about someone sometimes.
Mm.
It's just that. But I don't think anything will ever happen between us.
Well,
But
why do you think that?
oh man, no, like when someone's just too good for you and you just think, nah, not a chance. Not a
Dude,
fucking chance.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Most of the girls I've ever probably talked to has always been, dude, not a chance. But I've always been ignorant when it comes to just being persistent and I don't know. It's just my grandpa told me this one time, and it was really straightforward advice because when it comes to when you're with I don't know this. Now I'm not saying this is right, but it just seems kind of correct. But
Okay, okay.
when it comes to when you're like dealing with girls, one of the things that I've noticed is it's real easy, yes, to be a friend, and I like yes, it's I always think when you're in a relationship with someone or you're starting something with someone, a friendship is always better opposed to just whatever the hell guys think they are to a woman prior to.
Yeah,
But the other thing is it's like kind of solidifying what you want. You know, it's just if you know that you like this person and you want something more with them, um, it's up to you to basically confirm that or affirm that, and you just say, hey, I like you this way, and this is what it is, and then you see what the reaction to it is, opposed to
yeah,
just kind of being a friend and kind of not, and never ever engaging on it. Because something else that I found from my old experiences as a kid, when when you when you're in someone else's life as just a friend, and then you also reveal to them later on as like, but I was your friend also because like I loved you or something,
yeah,
it kind of treats it as some kind of well, it depends on how it's perceived and how it's received, but it kind of comes off as a deception, and then that
oh
whole
really?
entire relationship you had with that person might then just fall apart. I'm speaking off an
Yeah,
experience. I had a really close friend. We were super tight, and like we went everywhere together type situations. And
yeah.
when I finally revealed, I finally expressed it, it was looked at as a deception. It was I guess you have the second question. It's like, was everything that we like, and we were young, and that's also the other thing I think about it as well. We were young, so and also we was in that time period where everyone and their mom was basically, I'm gonna cut you off. If cutoff culture and cancel culture has been around forever, so it just turned
Yeah,
into, okay, well, I'm not talking to you anymore, and it's weird, but that's a thing. And if you would have, I don't know, at least for me, I think about the concept that my grandpa had taught me was you reaffirm it, you let them know what you're planning on doing right then and there, so that way you kind of save yourself some grief. That way you find out if it's gonna go sour or if it's not gonna be that from the jump, so it didn't just fall apart right at the seams later on.
no, man, okay, like it's so tough though because like we're really good mates. I like generally we are legit mates. But so like I've sort of accepted that I don't think anything will happen. But like when you meet up with him and we start talking shit and just have a really good laugh. And then some girls just have that really nice smile. It's like, fuck's sake, that smile is so beautiful. It's like fucking hell. But nah, I really doubt anything would ever happen. But even if it doesn't, whatever happens, like even if she like gets another partner or whatever, like I'd still 100% be her friend. Like I care about her too much, and just to fob her off, like just saying, "Oh, you don't like me that way. We're not friends anymore." And
Yeah.
we've helped each other out too much. Like she's like my G. She's just that's it. There's too much stuff. The only thing I've always thought of as well, though, like because I'm really really close to my mate, like what would happen if I got a relationship with someone else,
Mm.
and the girl I'm with a relationship with says, "Oh, I don't like you talking to this other girl." Like I'm not gonna fob off, It's hard not saying names. It's so hard. I'm not gonna fob off this other person just because I'm in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like I'd cancel out the relationship because I don't like the idea of people saying, "Oh, we're not going out until you get rid of that person." So
Yeah.
that'll be a tricky thing as well. But
I
yeah, to sum it up,
I
I don't
don't
think
know.
anything's gonna happen.
I've heard so many poor experiences from that. The whole you're in a relationship, so if you had a close friend that's a girl, you can't be as close, which I get. You got to set up some kind of form of boundaries, but I don't think you should have to terminate a relationship. If that's what your other partner is asking for, I feel like something else is wrong
Yeah.
internally for that person.
Yeah. Oh God, I had some problems with one of my exes. I did. I was literally sitting down before listening to Nicki Minaj, the Pink Print. I can't fucking say it. God, the Pink Print album. I think it was called that. And I was there, literally headphones on, listening. I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And she instantly got jealous because I was listening to Nicki Minaj and starts like slapping my head and throwing my phone.
What?
I'm like,
What?
what? I was like, what the fuck's happening? What's happening? And she got so jealous, and that's when I was like, oh damn, this is getting crazy now. Like she used to like pull my hair and like hit my head and stuff like that, and I'm epileptic. Like she could have sent me into a fit, but like. I was like, oh damn, I need to break up with her, but I also need my Xbox back. So
Dude,
I had
dude.
to plan it. I had to
Okay,
plan it to
so
get my Xbox back.
now I am just sitting here at awe because you were listening to an artist and then she started to trip. Like, no,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
heard of that before ever.
Mm.
God.
But this is the thing. She did weird things. Like even when I was walking down the street, she's like, "You was looking at that girl, wasn't you?" And I'm like, "What girl? Like I don't even see the mouse. I'm probably looking at it. It's like a Greg sausage roll. Like I ain't looking at no girls." And I tried to explain, like, it took me 18 years to get my first girlfriend. I'm not an instant pimp or a player. I'm just a guy. Like, chill out. And it didn't work. She just went a bit crazy. So I had to get
Dude,
out
that
of
sounds
there.
like jealousy. That just sounds like pure jealousy. Who knows where it formed from? Who knows what other person probably injured her to where she would even, I guess, be that insecure about it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
well,
That's one of those things that you gotta work on within yourself, I guess.
yeah, yeah. Like I saw like a little bit of jealousy is fine, I think, just a little bit because it shows the person that you care. But
That and that,
when
if
it
they actually want you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? But like, but when it's too much, where you can't even listen to a woman sing,
Yeah,
that's when
and
it gets
there's a
pretty
thin line between cute and get the fuck away from me.
bad. Pretty much, yeah, pretty much spot on. But that's the sort of question. Yes, love and bits and bobs.
Do you want kids?
Oh man, hey, I didn't ask you this.
Hey man, I don't remember these questions. I'm just doing this thing. I'm Mr.
um,
Impromptu, man.
in the future, I think I'd like kids. I think it'd be interesting because I don't know what I'd be like as a dad, and like Actually, yeah, I think I'd be a good dad. But it's like it's trying to be stern and like telling off your kids without laughing, because that's when I laugh the most, when I'm trying to be serious. So like, I think that just fucking wind me the fuck up. But I think in the future, yeah, I'd like kids, but I don't know what age, because I'm like 28 now, so
Same.
I don't know.
Well, 27, but for me, my personal thought process is I know there are some fucked up things in my head and I need work. So my goal is to make myself as balanced as possible, or at least the way that I want to be before that happens. Because since I have control and I've been in luck to never have any kids or anything like that happen, then that means I'm still in the chances of trying to be the best version of me before that shit pops off, man.
Nah, mate, I understand. You're like, I'm trying to lay down like sort of a foundations where, met more
Yeah.
savings, be more successful, really be secure. So I know if shit hits the fan, I can still look after a kid.
Well, not even just that, man. The mental, your mental, like if you're fucked up in your mind, that means you're gonna
Mm.
make fucked up kids.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. Oh, mate, talk about kids like a little bit of an off story, but I was seeing this one girl, and she asked me, "Is like, you want to get together?" I was like, "Okay, cool." And it was just like a friends with benefits thing, because our personalities just didn't match. But she was like, "Oh, do you want to do it without a condom on?" I was like, "No, I'm all right." And she was like, "I'll wear a patch." And I swear to God, they said she pulled out a nicotine patch and slapped it on
Ah,
her arm.
ah,
And I was like,
ah.
"Oh no, like this is time to get the fuck out. This is." I was like, "I ain't doing this." So like, I packed up my Minecraft book and I went. When I saw that nicotine patch, I'm like, "Nah, that's not right. I think this is a trap."
Dude, I I have many a story to tell, but it's like
Yeah.
you know what? I'll just drop one and then I'll move to whatever question I fathom next as I like rub my hands together as a villain or something. But what was it was there was a scene where me and a good friend um there was a girl and it was a situation where I think I was still in school and I had all these rules like you need to be home before the lights come on, and well that didn't happen
Oh
because
no.
we were so it was this weird situation where we were with this chick and it turned into I'm just gonna vaguely tell the story where it's just like basically we were doing things we probably weren't supposed to be doing and just leaving it in a
You
vague
naughty
mark like
booger.
that, and somebody had the bright idea of leaving the radio on while the car was off, and the battery died in the
No.
car, and the car then had to be pushed up a street. Uh,
Oh
so
my
it turned
God.
from you're supposed to be home before the lights come on to to I think it was like I it was probably like 9 that night or 10 that night, and I still had to. Oh, we ended up getting a homeless guy. A homeless guy stopped us on our escapade and pushing this car up the street, and the homeless guy was like, "Hey, I know some people that could fix your car for you." And he gets the people. They
Yeah.
get the cables. We charge up the car. We can it works and all that stuff, but then the homeless guy asked us for. He's like, "Hey, you got any money? Since I did get you the services you needed," and it was just, it was a very wild night, and it was just, I don't know. Part of it kind of as now it's like maybe since you were doing wrong, you that's why you were thrown such a bad hand.
God.
No.
That sounds so surreal.
um, what is your biggest fear?
Ooh. Oh, see, this is a tricky one. Okay. My biggest, it used to be ending up alone. I used to be really scared of that. But I think now I've matured and I've got time to myself. I've realized I like time to myself, so probably not that. Spiders is a big one. Fucking massive big spiders, they terrify me. And heights. I'm really terrified of heights. And I also have like this interior, like this small fear, this small fear of when I'm making games, like if I fuck the game up.
I can.
It's like, oh no, like if I break the game, it's like, oh god, that's on me. That's like a small fear, but mainly the big spiders that just run like with 12 million legs, they terrify me.
Dude, I gotta remember this damn video game because there's a I'm not sure if you're big on exploring or survival video games,
Oh,
but
I've played a few. I used to play a little bit of Ark Survival Involved. That was pretty good.
okay, we haven't started on that one. We freaking put it up there, but we never got into it.
Yeah.
But there was one we were playing called The Forest, and recently there was this survival game called. I gotta look this up because I just want to know what it is. Um, a survival shrunk game, or it was what is that? I gotta find it. Give me one
Find
second. I
it.
gotta let's see. Here it is. Yeah, grounded. Okay, so are you familiar with the honey? I shrunk the. Oh, hold on. Let me say this.
Oh,
This is not an ad. This is not an ad. But are you familiar with the honey? I shrunk the kids movie?
I, sorry, I love that film, and I know which fucking game you're talking about.
Grounded, yeah,
Yes.
bro. So I played that, and so I'm not scared of spiders per se. That's one of those things I'm not scared of because most of the time when something like that happens, I'll just like I don't even grab a house shoe or anything to hit it. If I see an insect and it's like annoying or it's annoying the party that I'm with, I'm just gonna punch it and kill it that way because if I don't have anything, I'm pretty sure that if I punch it, it'll freaking die. And
What happens if you're missing it? Jumps on your face.
well, then you just got to start trying to get that spider even harder. But I'm just like, well, yeah, shit. My grandpa said it. He would say, "You're bigger than that spider. Don't be afraid of things you're bigger than." Like it's just like you have the ability to destroy that thing. Don't be afraid of that.
What about bullets?
Okay, shut up.
Carry on, carry on. I had to. I had to.
All right, all right. I said small. I didn't say small and moving really fast. God dang.
You mean like damn spiders?
That's a different speed.
Spiders
I
are
will say
bullets.
it is freaky how they do that. That I don't know what that is,
That
but
movement.
that
Yeah.
movement where they're like they're glitching. They're just
Oh,
oh,
it's how I find it strange how they can just keep the balance on the wall as well, and then just suddenly like scurry away, and then they just stay perfectly still again. They've got these long legs. It's just like, oh, gives me shivers thinking about it. But yeah, grounded to get back on track. Oh, it looks really good. I really want to play it.
dude. If you ever I have the game, and I will tell you. I will tell you. If you are scared of spiders, they have an option on there to. It's a thing called. It's for people who have arachnophobia because when I say this game, it will probably make you shit your pants because
Really?
dude, like it's a kid game, but it's when you're small, if you're small and there's a part, I don't want to spoil it for you. Well, it's not even a spoil because the feeling will surprise you when it happens. I was working on something in the game and by this time I hadn't built my shelter, so I had to stay up that day. And I was up and then you start seeing the grass move and remember these blades of grass are super large,
Oh my god.
and so you're sitting there and it's dark. It's dark, like dark and blue, like the blue light when it's nighttime. And you see the grass moving, so something's coming for it and it's knocking down the grass. Then you start seeing the glow of the eyes. And what makes it even worse, it's not small. It is humongous in comparison to your size. Then
Oh.
you also find out that that's not the biggest one. That's not the biggest one. And and they I'm pretty sure they have their own patterns that they work on and run on because we both have worked on games before, so we know that it's all
Yeah.
numbers. But they create that feeling, and it is it's kind of
Uh,
terrifying the first time you see it, and that's why I want to play that game in VR.
Oh my god, no, I can't imagine that. Like, whenever I think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, I always think of the ant they sort of like tamed and become its pet. But like, damn, seeing them spiders. Oh, imagine like beetles as well, or like centipedes.
Bro, all that's
Centipedes would be
there.
like a good boss fight.
I recommend it. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely have a look into it.
But outside of those, no, minus that, have you decided if you wanted to conquer said fears?
Oh, so this is an idea I had. So next time opens up,
Hmm.
you can do that thing where you hold the tarantula, and a tarantula always terrifies me because it's fucking massive. It's absolutely massive, and you can let it crawl on you. I want to try and conquer that so I can get rid of the spiders when they come in the house. um, the other fear of heights, I I say in maybe 3 or 4 years when I've lost a little bit more weight and I feel a bit better about myself,
Hmm.
I want to try skydiving. Um, because I've read articles as well where it's not got rid of their fear 100%, but it has helped because you're just that high and you're falling, and there's nothing you can do except for open this parachute. It takes a lot of the height away from you when you're scared. So I do want to conquer him. It's just when.
That's hilarious. Not hilarious. Fucking hate that. I hate when you run to that word when you say, "Oh, that's weird" or "That's funny" because that's the
I
first
get
thing
you,
you run.
man.
I
I
still
get you.
hate that. Anyway, point being, we've last cast I had, we were talking about that. I had that conversation with another lady, and yeah, everyone wants to skydive. It's so weird how humans really push themselves to do things that could almost kill them, and they want to do.
Yeah. Well, this is
But
the thing. Like skydiving, it fucking terrifies me because I hate planes, and the door's going to open. I hate heights, and I'm just going to see not even the ground, just fucking clouds. And if that doesn't cure me of my fear of heights, nothing will.
I don't. I don't know if I don't necessarily cure your fear
I
of
am.
heights, man.
I imagine it's like a doctor's fix.
It's just like, okay, so I did that and survived, but I don't want to do that shit ever again.
Oh shit, man! When you put it like that,
I'm,
it
I'm
makes
not
sense.
trying to discourage you. I'm not trying to discourage you because it's funny because we were talking about that the first time I came up on that conversation with another lady. She was telling me about why it's like just do it. It's so fun, and I came up with this idea of like, on my 100th episode, I would do it, and it would be like my final episode, or it would be my my maker episode. And then when
Oh.
I started to think about it, I was like, you know what? How about I get a little bit more under my belt? So at least then it's 1,000 to listen to if I don't come back.
I think that's a good idea.
So I'm teasing it, but I'm thinking about doing that 1,000th episode. I'm going skydiving, and if I make it back, I'll record the rest
Oh
of it. If not,
my
there you go.
god, that's so terrifying. Would you rather skydive or bungee jump? I don't know why, but
uh,
bungee jump
that's
just.
that's always a thing for someone. I don't know why that. I've thought about it, why that is, but um I would I would I don't fucking know, but because I mean bungee jump. I guess it's just you're playing with it. You're just like, haha, this rope could fuck you up at any moment. And so in some form of fashion, it's like, okay, this is probably another experience where it's kind of like you're playing with life. You're suspended between life and death. You're just letting go. You have no control over this. This is you being free or you being afraid as fuck. But the other thing is just with skydiving, it's like it's the same thing. You might as like your option is to be free. That's all you got. That's
Yeah.
all you got. Yeah, you might as well be free than screaming like a little bitch all the way down. But I I played around with the thought before because it was one day I had some I had some gummies that were they had some very
That was
nice flour in it that might
ah
have made you
it was infused with goodness.
yes, yes, yes. And
Yes, yes.
and I remember the thought while I was partaking in said anyway,
Beverage.
point being, yeah, the thought that came up in my mind, which was crazy, was just identifying what it would be when it comes to just that impact. Say for instance you didn't pull that cord and you just hit the ground, would it be immediate? And I started playing multiple thoughts in my mind at the same time. I started going, start thinking about a computer shutting down, and when it shuts down, all the stuff just when it just goes off. Not to
Yeah.
mention you use that thought with the thought that you know things are just if the nothingness. I don't know if you've ever had those moments where you just sat and you start looking at your hands and you start going, "What the hell? This is
Yes.
real. We
Oh.
are here. What the hell?
uh,
We this is a my bad if I'm doing that, but the point is you combine that thought with then a computer shutting down, and then if you remember how remember your biggest amount of pain and then amplify it. And you put all those thoughts together and you go, that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. And then a complete shut off.
oh my god,
It
imagine that.
hurts. It hurts.
It's
And
gotta
you do
be
that.
instant, isn't it?
It it's and you do all that while you're taking and eating a gummy. Then you just it's just like, oh shit, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
These bloody gummies that you're eating, eh?
It's just fruit snacks. No.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, fruit and nuts. Yeah, I get you.
But dude, I I know for a fact I'm going to do it one day because
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. It's if another conversation with that it turns into I because I was saying this the other day. It's kind of another form of accessing ego death because someone was saying how if you volunteered at hospice at a hospital, that is another form because you're watching people pass on to another life and you get to experience some humbleness and see how life is this fleeting thing and you should enjoy it and be a part of it and be within it as much as you can. And in some form or fashion, skydiving does that too because you, like I said, you're suspended and you have only two options to choose from at that point: let go and just be with it, or make that experience a piece of shit and bitch and cry all the way down.
Oh, I think I'd be screaming until I passed out, you know.
Yeah.
I really do. I can't imagine me jumping out of a plane and saying, this is lovely. I imagine it's more like, Jesus Christ, and then pass out. And hopefully I'll wake fucking back up.
What is your favorite food?
Oh shit. Oh damn, there's so many good foods. I've got to say, pork belly and noodles is a fucking weakness of mine, mate. Pork
Pork
belly
belly
just
and
does.
noodles.
Oh mate, it's so dirty and good. Because pork belly's like really fatty, but you can have like a really crispy skin on it. And
Mm.
noodles, oh, you make some banging noodles and you got pork belly and noodles. Oh
Dude, that
god
does sound actually pretty damn
damn.
good.
Mate,
That
that
does
will
sound pretty
do
damn good.
stuff. You need to try it. Just get some pork belly, loads of fucking salt on the top, make that skin like crackle. Oh, it is like a dirty meal, but it's so damn good.
I got the only thing close to that I've had is probably ramen because they always throw pork in it. Well, no, they don't
Oh,
always throw pork in it, but this particular spot that I go to, their their thing is to put pork in it. But
yeah.
I wrote down a note: pork belly and noodles. I don't necessarily know where I'm gonna find that at. I don't think we have any London-based pubs around me, but I gotta find
Oh,
one.
no, no. They won't even sell that in the pub here. You just got to cook that yourself. Like, pork belly and noodles is just one that you got to do for yourself. Just find a fucking pig and some noodles. Do what you want to add to it, and man, oh, it'll be such a dirty meal. Yeah, so
Next
good.
question for you. Next, because this one I teeter totter around with, and I'm not gonna say how I feel about it. No, if you know me already, you probably already know how I feel about it. But
Okay.
it's just one of these things that I see the human race struggle with so much, and I'm gonna ask you about it. How do you
Okay.
feel if you had to choose a world based on logic without emotion, or a world based on emotion and fuck that logic?
Oh, this.
And why?
Fuck. Okay, this is a little bit tricky because I like the logic purely because if logic didn't exist, we wouldn't have a lot of things. But I I don't know if I could live in an emotionless world. I really don't fucking know. But ah, shit. As much
You
as it,
have
as
I was,
much
I
as
was
you,
like, you have one skip available.
no, no, not skip. I'm not skipping this. Right. I think as much as it kills me, I would have to live in a world where it's more logical and no emotion because things just wouldn't get fucking done. Especially if there's
Mm.
everybody like too emotional, everybody's crying, everybody's happy. It's like we need to eat. It's just like no, let's just laugh instead. But the emotionless world would fucking kill me. It would. I'd have to choose the logic one. I feel bad for locking in that answer, but I have to lock it in.
See, that's an emotion. Your emotions tell you logic is fucked up, man.
How
But
do you see
in
it?
in all reality, though, it's both. Just I don't think that I am the right way completely, but just from just looking at everything, it is both. A lot of people want it to just be illogical, but I'm seeing it's kind of both, man. It's definitely kind of both.
Oh
But
yeah,
both.
100%. Yeah, like you can't literally have one without the other because like imagine doing something logical and you're finding like life on another planet. You're like, wow, there's life on another planet. That's good. That's it. That's literally it. I mean, no emotion whatsoever.
My next question for you is, what would you consider a friend? What are the qualities that make up a friend?
I think a friend is someone who's loyal. Um, a friend is for me is also someone to tell you when you're on the wrong track.
Mm.
Like especially giving feedback. Like the I've got a friend who I live with now. Like he's one of like my top boys. Like he's fucking great. And when I used to show him my artwork, he'd be like, "You need to change that. That's wrong. You need to change that. That doesn't look right." He'd be really honest with me. But because of that honesty and that brutal honesty, I know he was just doing it because he cares. And I am a lot better artist for it now. Um, but I think honesty is a big one. They have to be truthful, and sometimes they say things that hurt you, but they do mean the best. I think that's what a friend is.
Now, how do you, because humans, I mean,
Yeah,
humans have a hobby of fucking up. So,
yeah,
what do you do when a friend, I guess they,
fucks up.
yeah, when a friend basically moves outside of those qualities, where is your threshold to either say you need to remove that friend, or yeah, what are your limits when they break those qualities?
Oh, it depends because I've actually got rid of quite a few friends. It depends like if they push something too far. Like I had a friend, he was really cool, but then he started saying racist jokes, and at first I thought, okay, he's just said one joke, let's just forget about it. I didn't laugh. Let's just leave him. We'll carry on. But when stuff like that is said consistently, you think, okay, that's a bit fucked up.
Yeah.
And or when they start doing stuff like where they're just always when it's constantly negative towards you, or when they're really fucking clingy, like ridiculously clingy, that's when it becomes a big fucking problem. And I think that's when times you just need to say like bye bye. Like I find it weird when I used to get people messaging me saying, we're not friends anymore because you haven't messaged me like in 2 or 3 days. I'm like, the fuck? Like we can still like I don't measure friendship on time. I measure it on the stuff that you do and the
Yeah.
stuff that I do because a relationship is like 50-50.
Yep.
But I don't think a lot of people see that, which is annoying. Um, but I think if they're always negative, they keep talking the same shit and they're bringing your essentially they're bringing your vibe down and they're making you into a lazy person. I think that's when you cut them off.
Now, do you believe in redemption?
To a certain extent. So I'll explain this. So the guy who kept on telling these racist jokes and he was quite miserable. If he was apologizing and stuff like that, then I still wouldn't because of the shit that he said. It's pretty. I won't obviously go to it, but it's pretty grim. And I know it'll pop back up. I just fucking know it. Or with the guy who used to bully me in school, if he was like, I'm really sorry, I was a bad person. If he cried his eyes out, if he was on his deathbed, I'd be like, nope, go fuck yourself. Couldn't care less. Couldn't give a fuck. But if it was someone I was really close with and they say they made a big fuck up, um, it honestly depend on the fuck up, like a lot. It
Yeah.
really depends on what they did. But I think redemption can be there, but it all depends on the scenario. It really fucking does.
Yeah. I definitely feel you there. I definitely feel you there.
Yeah, like
Ah.
I had a friend who I had two friends. One of them was in a relationship with a girl, and the other one was just single. And he kissed the other guy's girlfriend, and like I didn't speak for him for fucking years and years, and I started speaking to him again. But it's that's the thing. Like it wasn't even my girlfriend. I think it just pissed me off because he fucked up one of my friends as well. But
Mm.
I still speak to him. But it's like it's just not the same. No, it's not the same. And it's just like, okay, I forgive you for doing that dickhead thing, and I don't trust you, but I don't know. Is that redemption where I'd still speak to him?
It's that weird thing. Well, not necessarily a weird thing. People always say this: you forgive, but you don't forget,
Yeah, yeah,
and I that's kind of one of those weird things because I've been thinking about that one because one way to really let yourself go and be free and not actually be hung up over some crap is to forgive and let go. That let go part is important because if you don't let go of something, that's kind of a pathway to more trauma for your own damn self.
yeah. No, like I completely fucking agree. But that's the thing. The problem is sometimes like I hold a grudge too much, and I know I do, and I should stop it. Like for example, with the school thing, if the guy was on his deathbed, I'd still fuck him off. It's that much of a fucking grudge. It's so bad, and it is probably a little bit fucked up. But I just that goes into grudges. It's hard. Like some things I can let go of, but it takes me like maybe a week or two to forget them. But
Mm.
other stuff is just like, nah, I ain't forgetting that. Nah, this there's no redemption for you. If I knew the guarantee there was a hell there, I'd fucking send you down myself.
God dang.
But if it's somewhere like like you've got some food and someone pinches, I don't know, like say a burger of yours, and it's just like, I'm sorry, I was hungry. It's like, I'm a bit pissed off, but I see redemption in your future.
I have another question for you, and this segues kinda to what we were talking about, that event that we want to set up, or the one we were talking about with the movies.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I want to know when you're old and you're sitting in some rocking chair and you're having your drink and you're
Yeah.
just sitting there and you just want to relax on a Sunday. What are you watching? And normally, when I've seen this, when you're old, you watch an old movie that you just like. What are you watching when you get old? What are you rewatching because you just
Oh,
love the hell out of it?
I, from Dusk Till Dawn, mate. That film, holy shit, it's good. It's so damn good. Have you ever seen it?
Dude, you know what's crazy is I've really enjoyed that film my damn self. If we're
No,
talking
really.
Are we talking about? We're talking about the one
Seth.
with George Clooney.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Oh my god. Right,
dude.
Matt, I need to send you a photo right now. Let me just take this photo. Give me 1 sec. Right, I'm gonna send you this on Discord.
Okay.
Mate, like that film. Oh, that film does stuff, man. There you go. It's absolutely beautiful. I remember the first time seeing it and thinking, oh, it's just like a shooting film, like a little bit of a gangster film, like Thugs. And then when that twist happens, it's like, damn.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. You love that movie. Yeah.
Like
Well, shit.
right, the shot glasses on there say titty twister.
Yeah. Okay. So funny story. Funny story. So when I was first introduced to that movie, I didn't get to see that version of it. It came on like Channel 33, and it wasn't the titty twister. They named it like the oh, it was the kitty twister. Yeah.
No, no, it wasn't.
It was. They switched
No,
it. They changed everything up and they made it kid friendly.
no, I need to see this. The
You
kitty
gotta
twist.
look for the kid friendly version of Dust to No, okay, so are we gonna watch the kid friendly version or are we gonna watch the legit version?
Man, I sort of really want to watch both again. The kitty one is it's interesting. I'm like, how does
Okay,
it
so
do it?
maybe we'll either do both or we'll figure out a way where we can kind of stream both of them at the same. Either way, we're gonna do that. That's gonna be on the list. We're gonna watch From
Oh
Dusk
yeah,
Until Dawn. That's on the
yeah,
list.
yeah, 100%. Like that film is just godlike. Like I remember showing it a few guys in the flat I used to live, and all of
Hmm.
them thought I was trolling except for one. He was like, and it was the guy I live with now, like the top lad, and it's like, I really like that film. I was like, it's fucking gold, isn't it?
It's
everyone,
just
everyone else
I
stayed.
don't know. It's one of those films where it's just like it's almost cult classic, and then it's just like you said. It's like you got these two bad boys. They go to a
Yeah.
bar. They just go. It's a story. It's the classic story.
Yeah.
Two men walk into a bar, and then shit gets real.
It's just great. I love how it just turned from these guys need to get to Mexico. That's it. They're in a bar. They've literally pretty much done it within like half an hour, and then shit fucking happens. And it's just
Oh,
like, what the fuck? Is this the same film?
did you ever watch part two? I never saw part two.
Oh, this is the thing. No, I think there's a part two. I think there's a part three. I know there's a Netflix TV series now, but I haven't done it because I feel like it'll be so bad.
It probably is. Like that's the thing. I think we should experience it so we can know if it is shit or not.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Oh, it's gonna be so disappointed, but yeah, let's fucking do it.
I'm down. Well, shit. Well, if you're listening and you're just trying to figure out what we're gonna do, and me and Paul are gonna do a movie watching commentary slash whatever the hell we're gonna do. But that's what we're gonna do, and we're planning
Yeah.
on rolling that out for you guys soon.
Oh man, it's gonna be good. I will warn you though, guys listening. There's gonna be a lot of laughing, especially if we're watching Dust Till Dawn too.
What was the other thing I was gonna tell you is because I don't really know exactly what we should do for like just the list in general. I started playing around with the whole idea of watching Star Wars, and you never watched it before.
Yeah.
I started thinking, I think it's hilarious to watch Harry Potter with somebody from the UK because it's just like, hey man, how untrue or unfucked up or fucked up is
I,
this shit?
Mate, I love it. Let's fucking do that. That is a fucking genius. Let's do Harry Potter. Let's
Okay,
do
we're
Harry
doing it.
Potter. Yeah. We'll watch the Philosopher's Stone, Professor Quirrell. I can tell you right, that's fucking bullshit right away.
Okay, another question for you. What makes someone a hero?
Oh, what makes someone a hero? Oh fuck. I say a hero is someone who goes out of their way for others, where they always put other people. They always put other people first before themselves, and it's just like,
Mm.
fuck. When I think about that, they're dedicating so much time in their life to someone else when they could just be so selfish and look after themselves. It's mad because I see it both ways. Like I think you look after yourself, and then once you're in a stable position, you can see your friends and go out and help them. But man, some people have dedicated so much time to helping me. I think they're fucking heroes.
I have to agree with you there because that's that's why time is such a freaking valuable resource, and when people put that when they put that time in, that they don't get back into other people's lives, it's such a beautiful thing. And I don't know, I want to promote that a little bit more because I see us
Yeah.
as internet exists, we just get stuck in our own little ways, and we don't care about people as much as the old day. Like, yeah, I think we did that a little bit more back in the day. The sense of community was definitely much stronger back in the old days.
Yeah, I don't think a community, like I've not seen a community, to be honest. Like when I was growing up, you'd probably say hello to your neighbor, but that's it. Like I wouldn't invite him round or I wouldn't really talk to him. But like I've grew up with that. So when people were saying hello in the street to me, I was like, I was thinking, what the fuck did he just say? Was that an insult? I was like, no, 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 he just said hello. I was like, okay, that's weird. But then I got realized. I realized he's saying that people are nice. But I
now
think
the
people who give up time, yeah, definitely heroes.
now the question that's for you now is, who are you becoming?
Oh fuck. Well, time to go. No. I I I think I'm becoming more like fuck. How do I explain this? I think I'm becoming a bit more less patient because when people like message me shit or like when I've said you don't respond to this, it's just like I can't be fucked with it now. I think I'm a lot more level-headed. I think I'm gonna become a much better 3D artist,
Mm,
and I'm always trying to be kind to my friend. But I think overall I'm becoming a lot more positive and happy.
that's
Few negative things, obviously that get me down and stuff. But I think overall I'm trying to be a lot more happy and more positive in people as well.
I think that's the yeah, I like that, and I really think that's what we work for, man. We're all working on being better, and I like
Yeah.
that, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. That is
I
what's
like
up.
it because like the thing is like coming from my experience, I should hate a lot of people. Well, I dislike a lot of people, but like I'm trying to be more like not everyone's fucking bad. It's just I had a bit of a shit experience where I live. I always had a lot of love from my family, but I had a lot of shit experience from other people, and it
Yeah,
just put this thing in my head where I was like, oh fuck it, I don't like anybody. Until I made my first friend, like in high school. But now I'm more
oh,
like, yeah, just chill. But yeah, carry on.
I you so I don't. Did you ever watch Kingsman?
No, I've know it's got the guy who plays Elton John in Rocket Man in,
Yes, he's
but I've
in
never
it.
seen it.
The reason I brought it up is because in that movie, the guy is actually dealing with some asshole in the beginning who is just they're assholes. Like they're just assholes messing with him. And I guess I'm asking the question because I wonder if you could relate with that. Because in the movie they basically make it out like these guys just chilling, hanging out, and then these other guys who were in some probably mob or some shit, and they were just fucking with people. They were just fucking with them for no reason. They just literally walked into a bar, or they were there, they were laughing, and they said, "Why the hell are you Like they were just fucking with them. And as I saw that movie, I was just like, "Oh, it's just some typical shit that they did for the movie." But now that I hear all this crap from you, I'm like, I
Nah,
wonder.
this shit happens, man. Like I've never seen Kingsman, but like this shit happens. Like if you're with your friend and you got like people in a group, it's guys, especially always if there's a girl in there because someone's trying to impress her. It's just the odds. And if they say something to you like, "Oh, you're a dickhead," sometimes it'll make the girl laugh, depending what she's like. but
Yeah.
it's sort of like that macho, like, oh, I don't take any shit, and they just do it to take the piss. Like, people are fucking cruel, and
It
that's the thing.
it comes like I keep hearing this from other people or different podcasters or just Rogan or Peterson. They always talk about how it comes from it stems from your like back when we were in prehistoric time or primitive times and
The
you were basically
alpha,
being macho so you could find your mate because it's kind of like the whole peacock thing. You're strutting your stuff
yeah,
so you can find a mate. And it's like now that's not how we do things anymore, but it's still
yeah.
in you. So I think that's probably why people still do it. It's annoying as shit. And
That's what I think. I mean, like, oh, fuck, like, I wish when I was younger, when someone said something to me instantly, I wish I was like my brother more and just hit him. Because when someone said something to my brother, he hit him. They never said anything again. They just always pick on me, and that's when my brother would be like, "Right, who have I got to fight today?" Like, I wish, but now I'm more like that, which is it's actually interesting because me and my brother got into like a joint fight before
mm.
against one other guy, but yeah, that was an interesting turn of events.
Dude, it's crazy how like just I'm just thinking about back on some of the fights that I had as a kid, and I remember it was either fourth grade or fifth grade. I just remember as kids, one of the things that would happen is everyone would go to the damn restroom. It'd be like six people in there or more, and then they would close the door. Someone would hold the door so no one could get out, turn the lights off, and then at that point, only thing you could do was fight. And it's either that or your ass was trying to go get in a stall and hide or some shit.
Oh
But
my
at that
god.
point, all you could do was you better do something because if not, you're about to end up on the floor and get stomped out or it's just like it's crazy that kids thought like that. Like all they wanted to
Tom.
do they didn't plan it. They just fucking decided. Well, who knows? Maybe they did plan it. But the point is, like they would just we would just go there, and I didn't lead it or anything. For me at that time, I was one of the bullies, as they would call. I was one of the bullies because my dad worked at the school, and I was smart. And those combos were you're a smart person, your dad works here, and I think I wore glasses, and so
You're
those
getting bullied.
combos that 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 combo to oh yeah we're finna pick on your ass.
Yeah, 100%. Which really, like, I never thought kids don't see it as like, hey, this is pretty cool. We got an inside man. Why is it never saw as that? Where in TV shows, in prison, you got inside man. That's pretty cool. It's such a weird thing.
Ah, shit. My I guess my final question for you would
Yeah.
be, what's your personal image of God?
Ooh, okay. So I've only ever prayed once in my life when I was at a rough time. Um, I, me personally, I don't think like a god actually exists.
Mm,
I, I mean, I understand why people follow religion because it gives them hope as well, and it's their choice. But me personally, I think, I don't know. I think there's too much cruel stuff in the world to be happening that there's a guy controlling it. I just don't fucking believe that. I
I
just
have
I
a
just
friend with
can't.
that same thought.
Yeah, like, I mean, they'll probably say there's good and bad, but like there's some really fucked up things in this world and so many bad things. And I'm thinking if there's a guy controlling it up there and I ever met him, I'd happily call him a dickhead,
Yeah,
even if he
yeah.
is going to send me to hell. And it's that weird balance of like what what is heaven and what is hell. Like, what can you do where you don't go to one place and what you go to
Yeah.
the other one? It's like makes no sense. And another reason, like a bit off topic, is if hell exists, like, and there's all these bad people in there, like, why are people apparently like seeing like ghosts and poltergeists and stuff like that, where they're throwing shit in the house? Like, have they managed to escape hell or whatever? And that's what takes you on ghosts. So it's like, I don't know. It's just too broad. It's too broad. But I had that one weak spot though when I did pray, and I don't know why. It's fucking weird to think that. So strange.
I was joking around with a friend. Well, shit, I don't even know if it's a joke because I was borderline, probably serious. But I don't
Yeah.
know. Because when I get ideas, what I've been noticing now is if I have an idea, I do tend to implement them or I try to do it. But I started playing around with the idea of, hey man, I'm just gonna make a new religion, and and it'll be a real short story. It'll take all the crap that everyone's believing. Well, I'm no disrespect. I'm not saying crap for
Yeah.
any disrespect, but
Yeah.
everything that everyone believes in, and it'll basically turn out like this. You'll get there, and God will basically just say, "Hey, it was a meme. It was all a joke. Everybody gets in, and yeah, yeah. Welcome, welcome."
I mean, like, oh man, if there is one and I do meet him and there's like these big pearly white gates or whatever, I think it'd be I'd love to have a conversation with him. I just want to know his thoughts.
I wonder, I'm like, what's your favorite color? No, honestly, I think I've said this before. My main thing, if I had to talk to a God and I had to ask him a question today, the important question that I would ask is this: it would be, is Chick-fil-A open on a Sunday up there? Because if Chick-fil-A isn't open on a Sunday up there, then
I ain't going.
like, it's just like, what's the point? No.
I'll tell you what. If they want to torture me in hell every day, but I'll get that pork belly and noodles, fucking send me right down. Yeah, I'm more than happy.
Paul, I've had a pleasure hanging with you today, man.
Oh, it's been fucking great again. It's been such a good laugh. I can't wait to get on to these movies as well. It's gonna be good.
We need to schedule that
Yeah.
so we can, yeah, we need to schedule that because yeah, man, I really want to do that. Like, it just sounds really fun, and also it'd be cool to come up with a cool format for it. I'm not sure if you're familiar with, who is that? There was a there was an old commentary thing where basically two guys, it'd be a guy, a robot, and I think some other thing. They would have a silhouette of themselves,
Yeah.
and they would then whatever they're watching would be in front of them, so they could talk over it, and you could see them talking back and forth. It'd be cool if we could figure out a way to like have our silhouette in front of the. We'll
That'd
figure
be
it out.
cool.
We will figure it out.
Yeah, we'll iron out all the details, but we'll figure it out.
And oh yeah, the other freaking details is I've read the copyright on and the copyright laws. We should be good to go with it actually being a commentary, because if I'm not mistaken, there's a thing where if it's a commentary and a complete commentary, you could actually show something and comment on it, or there's a limited number of time. Well, like you said, we will figure
Yeah,
out the details. We'll figure out
that
the
sounds
details.
that sounds like a good old plan, man. I can't wait to start watching stuff with you, especially fucking Harry Potter. Can't
Yeah,
wait to tell you all the bullshit in that film.
that's gonna be hilarious as shit. But I'm gonna drop the bot, and I got a couple questions for you, sir.
Perfect.